Jack from Alphacharts with a focus list video for subscribers. Today is December 29th, 2024. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, thank you all for being subscribers. This video is just for you, and I'm doing a free view this week, so obviously I'm sharing this video with everybody. Just so you see, on Alphacharts 365, I did my in-depth market report video with the watch list earlier this morning. This is now the focus list video. Tonight, I will do a market note that kind of ties everything together that I'm thinking with charts and everything else. That'll come out tonight. But you see, this is everything else that you get. We did a live stream yesterday. If this can help you along your way in your trading progress, click on subscribe. It's only $10 a month. All right. Let's get into charts though, because this is a members video. All right, so the focus list video, I try to keep to about 10 minutes, very short, to the point. First thing we do is we look how the S&P did, and we compare our last week's focus list to the S&P 500. S&P had a choppy week, but it was up 0.7%. And last week we were in a very cautious mode. So there was only four names, and I had two long and two shorts because the market really had that quick drop look to it, even though we weren't exactly sure if that was happened. So the first one on the focus list, and these are weekly charts because that's what we're comparing the week, was Marvel. That's not Marvel. That's Marvel. Marvel was up 1.27 on the week. I got out of it basically break even on this particular trade. It did close a little bit lower from the buy point, but so basically a scratch trade. Google is the other one on the long side. And I still have some of this. It was up 0.62 on the week, basically even on this particular trade as well. Again, just a sideways choppy market. I think these two names kind of reiterate that. The one thing the market didn't do is it really didn't go down last week, right? It was net up. We saw that from the SPY. So the shorts that we thought about, which was SQQQ. That one, we were taking a 3% risk drop on that, and that's just the way it works. Again, if you remember from last week's video, we said smaller size, smaller size, smaller size. And that's what I did on all these trades. They're all very, very small trades. I'm still 90+% cash because that's the way I'm viewing this market. So took my little stop on that, no big deal. And then there was SOX S. This is short the semiconductors. That was down 10%. So you would definitely take that stop there. I actually still have a smidge of this on, just a smidge of it on because I still think the semiconductors look weak. That's my own personal bias on that. So how do I express that personal bias? By trading super, super small. I acknowledge it. I have that bias. Okay, so now I'm going to trade really, 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 really small. So if I'm right, I can feel good about myself. And if I'm wrong, it didn't hurt me that much. All right, but anyway, that was the focus list from last week. Let's look at this week's video. Let's go to the daily chart. Again, not my best week. We've had better weeks, and unfortunately, this is the free view week, so that's the way it works sometimes, right? But here's what I'm looking at for this week. So I like this Doximity trade. So Doximity, if you look at it here, we had a quick run up in 2021, and then it's kind of based. Went through a stage one. Now, in my opinion, started a stage two uptrend, and I think it's likely to get back up, maybe close to the all-time highs. Now, do I know if it's going to get up there or not? Let's talk about profit targets. These are just possible suggestions. We have no idea where it's going to stop going up. It may be here at 65, right? Or maybe all up here at 105. This is really, in my opinion, best case scenario. But the risk is for sure. That's only 3.5% risk. So let's look at where the trade is. So the trade is off of this nice tight consolidation right here. I want to see it break out, get above 58.50, and I think it can move higher. If it breaks out and then comes back in and takes out the low, and I call that 56.50. Again, you can put it where the stop wherever you want to. That's 3.5% risk. I like that type of risk. My best risk is around that 3.5% range. That's a perfect risk reward scenario for me. Again, I may go a little bit smaller in this particular name in all my names because of the type of market that we're in. But that's a risk reward that I can get behind. So the first one was Doximity, DOCS. The next one, and there's only three on this list. Again, because of the market we're in, I personally am looking to trade smaller and lighter, and that's what I'm sharing with everybody. What I am doing, right? Y'all make your own decisions, of course. Next up is Roblox. So here's Roblox. Looking on the weekly chart again, we can see it looks a lot like Doximity. You have the 2021 uptrend, then you have the fall and the basing, and now we have maybe a new stage two uptrend right here. And it maybe gets back up to 100-ish or so. I'm saying maybe right there. Yeah, it could get up to 140. Absolutely. I don't know anything. It may not, and maybe it only gets up to 75 or 72 or something or 70, right? Again, these are just possible targets. And again, I don't want to get too hung up on targets. We manage risk day to day, week to week, right? All right, looking at tactically though, where do we want to get in? If it breaks out from this little trend here, I think around 60-ish, that makes sense to me. And then if it falls back in, I'd want to be out. There's roughly a 3% risk in this particular name. So I like that as well. Um, Again, that's a risk reward I can get behind. And if you're wrong, you know pretty quickly, and you're out. Again, it's got all the markings of what I want to see in it. Again, nice liquid name. And the last one on this list is going to be RBRK Rubric. Again, let's go to the weekly, and you see it's a newer IPO, and you had this nice big move higher, and then you had this consolidation. Again, does this have high type flag potential? I would say it does, right? We're down with three relatively tight weeks. Let's see what the max pull down was. Yeah, it's only 15, 16% on the pull down. Yeah, so this looks really good to me. And going back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. This would be week number 9. If I include this week, you can see that from top to bottom, it was basically 124%. If I don't include this week and just kind of start it from here, let's see if I can get this going. Come on. Just wants to click on everything but what I want. Oh, if I press the right button, that helps too. It's 93%. So wherever you start it from, I don't think it matters that much. It satisfies high type flag potential, and I love high type flags. So this one again, I think the buy is. Let's go tactical now. The buy is maybe around 69, right? So it breaks above, and the stop would be around 66.50. Again, a 3.5% risk, right where I want to see. And again, has height type flag potential. We don't want to put a target though on this. We like, we can measure move it and say it's going to go up another, maybe 100%. What do we know, right? And that'd be a great reward to risk. But in the end, I just want to trail my stop and manage risk as we go. Again, so I think all of these are excellent setups, and I will be taking all of them. If they trigger, I will be buying them, again, based on what I put in here. I think if I'm going to play one of these this week, it's going to be Roblox. I think this is the pick of the week. So the pick of the week is basically something that I'm going to buy a slightly larger position, and if it triggers, I buy it. And by the end of the week, I have to sell it, right? And I'll sell half the position and keep half as a swing. That's just the way I do it. So it's a really short-term trading portfolio strategy. And going to 2025, my feelings on that. I may be doing this more often in 2025. I do this every week for the pick of the week. I'll share the spreadsheet with everybody in a little bit, but I may be buying and selling a little bit faster in 2025. We'll talk about that as the weeks and 2025 unfolds. But there you go. That's the pick of the week. There's no weekly pick this week. Again, market's just not quite right for that, in my opinion. So I'm just going to chill out and stick with the names we have there. Okay. So there we go. 3 focus list names. One of them being the pick of the week. And again, good luck this week. Happy New Year. Hope this all finds you well. Take care. Bye bye.